Some more questions on the stock market. This first example here asks us firstly to work out the dividend per share for this scenario here. Well, Maxiford pays 20% of its annual earnings to the shareholders. So the first job is to work out what 20% of 1.5 million is. And on the calculator you can work that out to be 300,000. And that money is going to be shared amongst 200,000 shareholders. So what we want to do is divide 300,000 up amongst 200,000 different shareholders, and we'll get, if you do that on your calculator, $1.50 per share. Now to work out the dividend yield is equal to the dividend per share, so that's our $1.50, divide by the market value of the shares, they're worth $10.80, and express that ratio as a percentage, so times by 100%. On your calculator, 1.50 divided by 10.80 times 100, and you should get 13.89% is the dividend yield. Now the price earnings ratio. Now remember that the price earnings ratio we can find by dividing the market price of the share by the annual company earnings per share. Now if you look at that, this is the annual company earnings, $1.5 million. But we have to work out that per share. It's not the same thing as the dividend per share because they didn't give all of these earnings to the shareholders. But when the price earnings ratio, we need the total company earnings per share. So before we start, we might just work out what this is. By dividing that 1.5 million amongst all the shareholders, 200,000 shareholders. And if you do that on your calculator, you'll see that there's $7.50 per share. So now we come down to work out the price earnings ratio. It's equal to the market price of the share, that was $10.80. $10.80 is what they're worth. The company earned $7.50 per share. And this one we normally leave as a whole number ratio. We don't convert it to a percent. So 10.80 divided by 7.50, you can do it on your calculator to check, 1.44 is the price earnings ratio. Next question asks us to work out how much an investor gains by having a certain number of shares. Now remember that a shareholder can earn money in two ways. The first way that you can earn money out of shares is by getting dividends from the company. The second way you can get them, earn money is if the value of the shares increases. Now in this case, the investor had the shares for a whole year, he bought them for $3.80 and he sold them for $4.90. So he's going to gain on selling his shares because they're going to sell for more than he bought them for. Might be able to work out the gain on his share price by getting the selling price, $4.90, take away what he bought them for, $3.80. That looks like a gain of 90 cents per share, and of course we'll have to times that by the fact that he had 500 shares. Check this on the calculator for me. It should come out to a gain of $450 that he gained through the fact that the shares went up. Now he also gained through dividends that the company paid. The company paid 25 cents per share, and he had 500 of them. So he also gained through getting paid some dividends. So 25 cents per share times 500 shares. That works out to be $125 of dividends paid. His total gain through this venture, and you can just add the two together, 450 plus 125 makes $575 of gain. One more question down the page here. I'll just move my page up. Fold it over. There we go. Now Tracy is investing in Ranger Dynamics shares. They cost $2.25. She sold them later at an increased price, and she also got some dividends. We also in this case have to take into account that she had to pay brokerage when she bought them. So how much did they actually cost her when she purchased them? She bought 2,000 shares at $2.75 when she bought them. Works out to be $5,500. But she also had to pay brokerage, 2%. When you buy or sell shares, you have to pay brokerage to the person that buys them for you. So plus brokerage, $2% of 5,500. So she'll actually end up paying 5,500 plus 2% of 5,500, making the total of $5,610. Check out the calculations yourself. Now when she sold them, she gets revenue from selling them. And they were sold for $3.20. She's still got 2,000 of them. That means that the amount that she gets from selling them will be $6,400, except she must also pay that brokerage again when she sells them. So she doesn't quite get all of that. She must pay some brokerage. 2% of the sale price. So instead of getting 6,400, we have to take away 2% of 6,400. And that will mean that the total she gets will be $6,272. So she bought them from this much, she sold them from this much, there'll be profit for her that way. But she also made some money as well, because during the year the company paid her 4 quarterly dividends of 15 cents per share. So we'll need to add that into her profits as well. Let's work out a total profit. The total profit is going to equal the selling price, take away the buying price. That's a profit from the fact that the shares have gone up, plus some dividends. Now, 4 quarterly dividends of 15 cents each time. 4 times 15 cents is 60 cents for the whole year. Work in dollars, 0.60 times 2,000 shares, each getting 60 cents for the whole year. These are the dividends. This is the profit she makes from buying and selling. Work this out on the calculator, works out to be $662 from that. Work this out on the calculator, works out to be $1,200. And all up, total profits $1,862.